You know what, on second thought, let's just move to level 2, which uses yet another weapon, the hero shot, which if you notice the shape of it, in a game where most weapons are like paintbrushes, umbrellas, squirt guns, the hero shot is just a frickin' P90. So I like level 2, there's less stuff to go wrong, and it's also where I have my best time. My current best time on this is a 1:36, which has me tied for 7th place, which I think is a very respectable run, although technically it's about, I don't know, realistically it's like 11th place. But the first thing you do here, you throw a mine, and you shoot. You're supposed to shoot that guy while that mine goes and blows that up, to ink up the wall. Jump on top of this sponge, shoot it. Avoid, okay. You throw a mine through here, ink up this wall, swim up it, get a checkpoint, throw one here, throw another one somewhere around there. It'll blow up those boxes, blow that up, and you can ink up that wall. You would shoot that, try to get that other sponge there inked up so you can get across it. Throw another mine, and you go up this wall. Sometimes there's an enemy here that you can just shoot. Other times you won't. It depends on where they are and how fast you're going. You go up this boardwalk. Throw more mines. So this is interesting because what you're supposed to do in this level is you're supposed to go completely up this wall, and you see there's a little fish thing there. That thing will wipe away your ink, and it's really annoying to deal with. So speedruns, instead of just trying to get up this really quickly, you say screw it, jump to that platform, which launches you all the way up here, saves you quite a bit of time. Then you throw another curler mine over here, ink up this sponge, hope that they don't shoot it, because they will shoot it the moment they spot you. And I've lost a lot of runs to this sponge getting hit and then shrinking. Throw a mine here, shoot ink all up along this wall to get to this platform. And the next thing, this is very important, you shoot this box and get this power up, which lets you do one of Splatoon's special moves. Throw a mine over here. You want to be quick about shooting all of these falling enemies, because once you do that, these guys spawn, and you get on top of this sponge, do the special. Did that kill that last? Yeah, it killed him. And you shoot the one of them, the one on the far right, will always survive that. So you're gonna have to be quick about shooting him. Okay, you're supposed to... The game wants you to shoot these two sponges and go that way. Speedrunners don't. You just skip, ink up over here, swim through it. That gives you a straight shot. Just shoot this, blow up all these sponges, throw another mine, shoot this other balloon, and then you go up here and try not to hit your head on anything. Throw a mine at the zap fish and then go collect it. Yeah, nice and easy. This level I've spent, I don't know how many hours. I honestly don't know how many hours I've spent doing just this level. But I've got it pretty well optimized. I think the world record is a 1:30, so I'm still 6 seconds off the world record, but I can still see places where I can save time in my own personal runs. Yeah, as you can see, where the clock was at like 50 seconds when I got there the first time, on actual good pace, you should be somewhere at around the 20-second mark. I hate this enemy right here. He will get in your way, and if he is in your way, there is no getting around him. Because he has a shield that makes him take way more shots to kill. So if he gets in your way, might as well just restart. Yeah, this should be a pretty decent time. Nowhere near my personal best, but still a good time nonetheless. Oh, come on. I've lost so many runs to that stupid mistake happening, just not jumping far enough. And I've also sometimes missed that, shooting that balloon, and just falling to my death. Oh no. I bonked my head on a bunch of places. That's where you lose tons of time on silly mistakes like that. What would Brennan say in this situation? 2 penises. You know, I'm noticing, I let the silence hang sometimes a little too long. It's because I don't have that much interesting to say. I'm sorry. I wish I was not as boring as I am. But unfortunately, speedruns takes a lot of concentration. I would probably be able to have a bit more to talk about if I was just playing regular Splatoon. But even then, I don't really know what to talk about. I'm a very boring man. I don't really have much going on in my life. Like, the most eventful thing that happened to me recently, honestly, was getting this capture card. Because it does mean I can... I'm probably not gonna be a streamer. It'd be cool to do it. If Brennan ever, I don't know, gave me temporary control of his channel. Oh no. Well, if I gotta stay the slow route anyway, might as well make sure I can get it better. But if Brennan ever lets me, I don't know, stream with his channel, I'd be willing to do that. Like, I could... I don't know. Best to not make plans that he doesn't know about. Because I had... Oh gosh, you want a personal story? I'll give you a personal story. I used to do a commentary podcast, movie commentary podcast with a friend, and I will not say his name, I will not say what his channel is, I will not do anything like that to him, because he's been very respectful to me with regard to not talking about it on his channel, so I'm not going to mention who he is, what his channel name is, but I used to do that with him, and we did it. We used to watch movies and do commentaries, and he would pick out movies to do, and we'd watch them. Sometimes they'd be interesting, sometimes they wouldn't. But I don't know. Later on in it, I would start missing recordings just because I have a horrible sleep schedule, and he doesn't. But he would plan things, in my opinion, a bit too long in advance. Like, he made a schedule, like, a year in advance, and in my opinion, I don't have any experience running a YouTube channel, so take anything I say with a grain of salt, but I feel like it just doesn't give you enough malleability. It doesn't give you breathing room to just have a set plan, like, oh, we're gonna watch all this stuff. And eventually he started... I would make requests to him, and he wouldn't do them, except for like one time where I suggested, oh, we should watch these things, in which he agreed. We watched one of them, Didn't watch one of the other things I wanted to do, and then proceeded to spend most of the month recording episodes that never saw the light of day, and that annoyed me quite a bit. But I guess he just got annoyed with me not doing the recordings, but he also complained that I didn't give him enough input when I would make suggestions to him. I gave him tons of ideas of stuff that, who knows, may eventually end up on Brennan's channel. Like, this totally would have been on my friend's channel if we were still doing it. But he then, like, posted an update video saying, oh, we're not doing this anymore, we both talked about it, we agreed that it would be best if we split up, which he never talked to me about, ever. And I had to text him 2 weeks after that video was up, saying, hey dude, I saw it. Now, at first I'm all apologetic, like, hey man, I don't want this to ruin our friendship, you know, being apologetic. If you ever want me back on, I'm willing to come back on. I get nothing but radio silence from him 2 days. Send him another text where after I've thought it over, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of upset you made this decision without talking to me. And then he says, you never made suggestions, you never said, you know, I was doing all the work, which is like, yeah, he was doing all the work, but like, he was the one who owned the microphone. He's the one who had experience. So what could I really have done with regard to that? And I did give him suggestions, and he never followed up on them. But yeah, and then within the span of maybe about 5 or 6 text messages, he then just tells me, don't talk to me anymore. It's kind of sad. He was like my one friend I still talk to from high school, and that's what he prioritized. He prioritized his YouTube channel, which at the time only had 115 subscribers. He prioritized that more than our like 7 or 8 year long friendship. And now to wait for all the people commenting saying, oh, was this Brennan? No, it wasn't Brennan. Of course it wasn't. Oh god. I screwed up the timing on doing that splashdown special. The way I think the world record has it where he does it quickly, and the person who holds the world record does that quickly enough that there is 2 left alive, but I don't bother with that because I'm not fast enough to actually get to the other one. Oh no. You know what, I'm just gonna do a restart on this level. So yeah, that's my one personal story of anything close to interesting that's really happened to me. Oh no, I'm letting it get to dead air again. That's the unfortunate thing, like I said earlier. Oh hey, that guy's still there. That I said earlier about, unfortunately, speedrunning requires a lot of concentration that I wouldn't need to spend if I was just playing regular game modes. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to Brendan some more. If he thinks this was a cool thing, maybe I could do, I don't know, attempts of my first time playing a level. Oh, dang it. Screwed up this in whole new ways. But I'm not that far off. I'm only a few seconds behind a good pace. There we go, that's how that's supposed to go. I didn't ink the ground, I was slow. There we go, a 1:42. Not the best time, but you know what? That's pretty respectable. Let's give this another couple tries. See if I can come up with anything more of interest. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna probably date it a little bit, but recording this right after there was a Splatfest in Splatoon. So if you don't play Splatoon, Splatfests are these big things where there'll be two teams and it'll be, you know, blank versus blank. Like, say a Halloween one was Trick versus Treat. A random one was like Ketchup versus Mayo. And this last one was actually Super Mario Bros. Themed, the 35th anniversary. It was Team Superstar versus Team Mushroom. I picked Team Superstar, and oh boy, it was rough trying to find games. Because, like, most of the games that I was playing were against my own team. And I guess Splatoon's matchmaking system was just prioritizing a good connection rather than actually making sure I can, you know, play against the other team. The entire thing a Splatfest is about. Super annoying, but still fun. I just wish that they would do them more regularly, because they did a few repeat ones. And, I don't know, we got... Splatoon 2 had like 2 years worth of Splatfest, which is a year longer than the first one got. But I don't know, I hope they don't, like, just eventually pull the plug and have this last one just be, oh, the last one ever. Which they already technically did. And then, you know, not have any more Splatfest until Splatoon 3, because who knows when the heck that's gonna be. Yeah, 140. Another good time. Because, I mean, that to me, that's the big selling point of Splatoon is, sure, it's this multiplayer game, this multiplayer third-person shooter where instead of, you know, normal typical objectives like capture the flag, the objective is just, oh, you know, kill everyone on the other team. No, the objective is you ink the ground. And the team who inks the ground the most wins. So, it's the only real video game like it. So that does make me a little sad if they just aren't gonna do repeats. I mean, they totally could just repeat the 2 years worth of Splatfest they have on a random rotation once a month. But I suppose from a business perspective, how's that gonna entice anyone to buy the third one whenever it comes out? Because who knows? Will it be on the Switch? Will it be on the Switch 2 or whatever comes after the Switch? Who knows? I think Nintendo at this moment is probably a bit more worried about just getting Nintendo Switches in stock at stores than worrying about building a new console. But that's gonna be something that's probably gonna come up in the next few years, because the Switch is already, what, 3 years old? Gonna be coming up on 4 later on this year. I love my Switch, but it's got some annoyances. Like, I don't know, I guess the battery life, because mine's the original version, not the red box model with the better battery life. It's not too bad, because I don't usually use it in handheld mode that much, but when I do, and when I have to sit there and worry about, oh, how's my battery doing, it does still last at least 2 hours, usually, which, in my opinion, for a normal gaming session, that's usually enough time. But yeah, I will say, I do like the Switch Lite, though I have to wonder how that thing handles potential issues with Joy-Con drift, because they're not replaceable. Sometimes I'd say, oh, it'd be cool to have one, but I also know it would literally just turn into a dedicated Monster Hunter machine. But, I don't know, I can't justify it in the same way I can justify having both a 2DS and a new 3DS, because, you know, the new 3DS can play Some games the old one can't. Uh-oh. Yeah, I just really, I like my handheld consoles. I've got a good number of them. Like, I've got the original Game Boy Advance, I've got DS Lite, PSP, PS Vita, 2DS, and a new 3DS. Switch 2 if you're counting that. I like... As someone who has a not very optimal setup for where my TV and game consoles are, and has a cheap TV... Oh, goodness. I'm just gonna restart this level. And has a cheap TV with only one HDMI port. It's a bit annoying to have to constantly switch out what's plugged in where. You know? And it's even made worse by the fact that, like, my TV is cheap, and by cheap, I mean it has one, count them, one inputs. A single HDMI input. It doesn't even have AV. So I have, like, a crappy CRT on the other side of my room for my older consoles, like my PS2 and my GameCube. So, handhelds are nice, because I'm not tied down or bogged down with wires, except when they need to be recharged. Which caused an issue with my PSP, because I needed to get a new battery for it. And apparently, very few, if anyone at all, is making good third-party replacements. I had to buy a cheap no-name one from Amazon. It holds a charge, but not that much of a charge. And if I don't play my PSP in a few days, it will lose like 50% to 70% of its charge. If it's in sleep mode, if it's actually off completely, it's a bit better about it. But yeah, I love my handhelds, and especially I love the PlayStation Vita. I was a very late adopter of it, like I bought one after it was already discontinued, but I don't know, I fell. But it's got a lot of great games on it. And I don't know, the PS Vita really feels like a PS3 in your hands, which I'm not the best at telling when graphics look amazing. I mean, I'm still a guy who plays my PS3 regularly and thinks it looks impressive. But, I don't know, for a handheld, it looks really nice. I think it really does, especially on its smaller, lower resolution screen. It looks, honestly, as good as the PS3, and it's portable. I'm just amazed by things like that. But yeah, I'm not really the best. Most of my time that I spent gaming is with, you know, old consoles. Like, I didn't get a PS3 until literally a few months after before the PS4 came out. Less than a year before the PS4 came out. That's when I got my PS3. When they were nice and cheap. But I guess to give it a little bit more of a perspective, I don't know how well this will ground it into any time span. It was back when a used copy of BioShock Infinite would still cost you around $40. That's how much I think I paid for mine. It was one of the first games I got, and I really do love that game. It does not hold up as well as I used to think it does, but I still play it every now and then. And PC games, I like being able to play games on my computer. It's just that my computer is a trash PC. This, if you don't know much about tech, won't mean much to you, but it's an HP Pavilion from like 2013. It's got like just a crappy AMD A10 4600M, which if you don't know anything about processors, just know that that's already not the best processor. It's a decent laptop processor, but it's already not the best, and it's at this point 7 years old. It only has 6 gigabytes of RAM and no video card at all. It has just the integrated graphics. Like, actually, when I got my little capture card, I was worried that looking at the software I'm using right now to capture this, OBS, worrying about, oh, how much, you know, RAM I need, how much, you know, how big of a graphics card do I need, how much processing power. But no, I did some test videos earlier, and I'm at least able to record 720p at 30 FPS. Hopefully. I'm recording at least on my couple minute long test footage. So, hopefully this turns out right. Well, unfortunately, I'm getting a lot more talkative near the end of this video. I think I'm gonna do, including this one, 2 more runs. So it's a shame that this got a bit more, I got a bit more talkative at the end, but as I said, this is my first time I've ever done anything solo without having someone else to bounce things off of. So I'm sorry about the dead air that happened in the middle. Hopefully if I ever do this again, it'll be a bit easier to sit through and watch. At the very least, you can hopefully look at the footage of me doing my thing, so I can at least show you. I do have an idea of what I'm doing. Although I'm not making as many mistakes as I was fearing, but I think that's also because I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat doing, you know, personal best pace runs, where I'm much more likely to make a weird mistake. Ouch. Come on, sub 140. Yes! Sub 140. 1 minute 39. That used to be my personal best, and it took literally several hours of playtime. Like, at least 1 to 2 hours of playtime to shave every second off. The nice thing, one of the bad things about speedrunning Splatoon 2, or I guess speedrunning in general, is you'll make these nice big strides where it's like every 4 or 5 runs you're shaving a second or 2 off, and then it's near the end where you're putting in almost an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours just to shave another second off. And even then, if we had an actual timer for milliseconds, it's probably not even a full second. It's probably closer to like, oh no, like half a second off. Yeah, that mistake right there, I can already tell it's gonna cost me. Ooh, that was like a 2-second delay that caused. And let's make it even worse. I was hoping I'd go out with a bang, but oh well. Ending on a second to last one is a 139. I'd say that's pretty good for just a speedrun showcase of just what it looks like. Think of this less as me trying to set a new record and more like watching ADQ, where people are just doing runs. I'm making every mistake at the end here. Alright, at least... Oh, and another mistake right there. Oh, I took way too long thinking the ground. $148. Ew. Well, I think that's gonna be it for now. If you... I don't know, I guess I should do the engagement stuff of, if you liked this, maybe put a comment, tell Brennan, you know, whether you want me to do anything more like this. or hopefully if I can, I guess there's gonna be my social media and hopefully a link to my speedrunning account in the video description. So if you're more interested in seeing, I guess, the highlight clips that I've done of some of my other runs, or checking out my progress when I do new other levels, check me out. If you liked this and want to see more from Brennan, then subscribe to this channel, Six Virgins, or the name's changed, I don't know, whatever it's called now. So yeah, I guess they're gonna end that here. See you next time if I ever do this again. Otherwise, look out for